Well, some fashions are only meant to be exhibited as art. New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art has a separate wing that stages an annual show celebrating clothing design. This year, it's featuring China Through the Looking Glass, its largest show ever in terms of space. Karina Huber has more.
Rihanna, Sarah Jessica Parker, Lady Gaga. They all hit the red carpet for the Costume Institute's latest exhibit, China Through the Looking Glass, that celebrates China's impact on Western designers.
The history of the impact of China goes back to the Roman Empire, but I would say the heyday of chinoiserie, which is what we were really looking at in the exhibition, was the mid-18th century.
While the Qing dynasty may be the main inspiration, most of the designs in the exhibit were created in the 20th century. There are utilitarian pieces inspired by Mao and the Cultural Revolution, but the bulk of the show features lush fabrics and glamorous designs.
One of the highlights of the exhibit is the blue and white porcelain gallery, which explores the relationship between China and the West through porcelain, which was also a big influence for designers, as illustrated by the gowns behind me, including this one, created by Karl Lagerfeld back in 1984 for Chanel.
Other than Chanel, there are works by Jean-Paul Gaultier, Yves Saint Laurent, and Alexander McQueen in the exhibit of more than 140 objects. Chinese designer Guo Pei is also represented. But according to curator Andrew Bolton, there is one designer who tops all others when it comes to using China as inspiration.
I think Galliano, more than any other designer, since very early on, even before his Dior days, was inspired by China and continues to be.
A whole room is dedicated to his China-themed work. The exhibit also pays homage to Chinese-American actress Anna May Wong. This is a dress she once wore, designed by Travis Banton. She eventually left Hollywood after growing tired of perpetuating Chinese stereotypes. Bolton says film played a huge role in forming the vision of China that designers used as inspiration. He says they tended to be more interested in the aesthetics of China than by the country itself.
A lot of what you see in the exhibition here is not accurate. It's very much seen through the gaze of the Westerner. And it's something that's been lost in translation. So again, it's something we tackle, the idea of objects being inspiring, China being inspiring to the West, but how that can often lead to sometimes quite damaging sort of stereotypes.
The show tries to tackle some of those stereotypes by contextualizing them through explanations. Whether it is successful at countering them is up for viewers to decide. The show runs until August 16th at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Karina Huber, CCTV, New York.